Welcome to the Football Experience. We are broadcasting live from the Grant Thornton Botswana head offices at Fairgrounds in Gaborone. And if you are looking for financial services and business growth solutions, then Grant Thornton Botswana is where you need to be. www.grantthornton.co.bw. The Football Experience has also partnered with Hope Worldwide Botswana in 2023. This is in order to spread awareness about our services. Today, we are going to learn about the Dreams program, which aims to empower young girls across Botswana. My name is Karuso Fox Patsimo and I'm your host, same names on social media. Our guest today is a football player of note. She's highly educated, a journalist in the making, and a community builder. And I must add, she's good looking. Her name is Keletso Walebowa, but we know her as Kells Pablo of Prison's 11 Ladies. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fox.
Pablo, where does the name Pablo come from?
Hey, Shiane. I was doing Form 4 at Naledi Senior Secondary School. And one of the girls I was friends with, na fila hore, Kells, we need a name for you, hello Lenos. She doesn't play football, or she didn't at the time, and now I'm a badminton. And then she was like, I know there's some defects, like a defender, like a middle fielder, or Tamegambolo, the name Pablo. So because you are my friend, you play football, I'm going to call you Pablo. And then I got to Lebala. Pablo. So people started adopting it from there, and then I'm like, okay, I can't separate myself from Kells, and then Pablo seems a bit off to resemble me as a non-football player and as a football player in one.
Does this mean you started playing football at junior school?
Yes.
Where was this junior school and when was it?
I was actually 16 years old, if I recall well. Before I turned 6. So I think 1 year ahead of me. I was 16 years old. I was in Kale Hill Secondary School in Block 9. And then that's when I started playing.
How did that story come about? The option is and I believe at your time, girls playing football wasn't necessarily a popular thing.
Yes, it wasn't, I must add, but this is how it started. I think when I was doing Form 1, being a kid at the time, I was just so excited, so wild-minded, and I literally wanted to do everything because I wanted to find one thing that I'm actually good at, and then that is when I can focus on. So I did a lot of athletics, I did football, I did ballroom dance, I did a lot of debate, public speaking, just tried everything. I was an all-rounder. And then I also did modeling because I was still a kid at the time. But then my mom was like, modeling when I can. Nope, not even. You can't. She only told me the story at I think at my 21st birthday, if not my first degree graduation. I want to go modeling. The reason why she refused, it was because she had heard about human trafficking of models across the country, across the globe, and she was afraid of that. And my thinking when she told me, I'm like, oh, lady, you could have been my manager or something, be able to be closer. But I was like, okay, fine. It actually led to me now saying, if my mom can't allow me to play football, to do modeling, I'm going to do totally the opposite. And then I started with athletics at Form 1. Form 2, the coach who was athletics, come, let's go try another sport. But having tried them all, physical education, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go try them. I tried football. So I that's how we start. And then I started developing the love for it, the awesomeness for it because it was always around people and and then that's when I also met Bobby Mate, Letsatle, who were my juniors a year below me, Harira Form 3. Sometimes I would tripping and training, and then I'd always come to them, guys, how can I improve? What do I need to work on? So Bokuji bana people are can't banyana bale hale anna siela ko basimaneng me ha tsana kwa ha ba ti dingwe di sele o ba botsa ka ball. And then that's when it all started. Hala be ke simola go tshameka junior football, and then I went to Naledi. We continued.
What inspired you to continue playing? Because I mean, after Form 3, you could have picked a different sport. A lot of us in Form 4, Form 5, that's a short period of time. Re kgona go drop the sport.
When I got to Naledi, I told myself, Gere, this gate, yeah, Naledi, is going to change me. I'm going to get to Naledi Senior Secondary School, and then I'm going to become a better version of myself, and I'm going to excel in everything that I wanted. And I got there, even I got Loma. I think it's in the year for 17 and 16. I got there, I became, okay, let me focus in school. Landa, Neretaba, athletics, because I was still battling with, hey, can I get focus on school? Yet, I know I have a bit of talent to this side. Nakongwe gopola sports master. Atata mamu diskolong they knew about us. Tabatsana mamu skolonyana mo ditlaseng. Re tare no pola one by one. O te lona. Kamoso leteka dilwana tsa training. We're doing athletics. And then we started training athletics, and then I'm like, okay, cool, let me continue with football. Then I began to look at ngalo. I decided I'll do double major. Ke major mo gone gore ke godise my football, athletics, and then football, and then also ke make sure ke perform mo skolo.
How was the balance? Because for us growing up in Roma, how to make a ball gate, this is why I was up pass. But you seem like you managed to balance the two.
Hey folks, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, and part of Form 4, it's a bit vague for me, but I think I took one day at a time, one challenge at a time. First semester ke mabelo, second semester ke football, and then the go skolong ko di resulting, it's monthly. Kana kwala di test go monthly kana ha teme hela. It was never easy to balance the two, because na go tse dingwe ta itela dibuka tsa media excel, na go tse dingwe di hagare, na go tse dingwe go kotas. But then Form 5, I changed be ke go nna le my aunt. You know what, I think staying with my aunt it's easily accessible because land so you feel it's and the times that thing, it's a bit risky. But I 4, I have to bath and start leaving the house at 5 to be at school early or all in time. If I stay closer, I dedicate 2 hours every morning ke push school, and then ke tsore like go school maitsibo ha ke I know my mornings are set. So ke develop that structure, ke nale that routine, and it worked for me. And then ha go tsena na kwa di exam, it's end of year, no sports, nothing, focus. You do this because I knew if I fail to payalla ko lapi.
The first time I met you, Nodira, year 2 go varsity and no sameka go Vico mates. Tell us about the teams that you've played for outside school sports.
Ka 09 rira Form 4, and then Form 5 ka 2010. We literally said to the coach at the time, Ibong Victor Baretse or Vico mates. Mister, or coach ka ha banyane, ka ha Naledi ole o coach basad. But go team ya gago ona le basimanyana from development, under 15, under 17 senior team. Why can't we form the ladies team under the same structure? And then we started Form 5, Form 5, because part of that we were also inspired by Nondi Matlasela and then Abang Maropi, who were at the time but that, so I'm going to call it community football because nearly did lab. I get so very feel if they can do it, and then they were also playing for under 20. Imagine Osanzole mo form 5 but at that level. So we got inspired. It became like a coach, I did a team side, and I was spearheading that le Tabang Khaone. And then we started playing for Vicomates at 2010. Push it 4 hard years. 4 hard years. The first years it was very tough. About 17 not to get double election. And building, trying to, because ne mo colleging bone bana le teammates e leng gore ke batho ba experience in that community football setup. Na re tswa ko sekolong fresh. So we build, and then I think in 2013 and 15, after now having learned what is required for competitive football amongst the league and the because at the time the league was sponsored by AT&T Monakot for 3 years, and the last year Vicomates at the time was certainly excelling. I think double election and that was one of the time in recruit the player, telling them, come, let's have fun, let's unite and let's have that thing. When I met you, I was doing second year Vicomates, and at that time I think I was also in under 20 at that time. Go under 20 for training for School of Excellency, and to me it was an exciting experience because I kept saying to my mom, and I would literally work hard, go training, go skolong, to make sure that I show to my mom that indeed and I think for me, I was also fortunate to have a cousin, Pablo Walebowa, who's based in America. My cousin supported me. Before trainer football, what do you need? He would literally come with them, and then my mom would be very enticed that, okay, if this man can support my daughter, why can't I do the same while I'm closer to her? So then I think that also contributed to now me being free. And then from Vicomates, I went to Prisons Ladies Football Club, which I'm currently playing for. I think it's anything 2015 January. Okay, I've built a team in Vicomates, and then the way I'm leaving it, it's well structured in terms of players composition. Rebuilding a very good team. Now for me, it was I need to compete to see if I can advance to higher levels in football. I needed to be able to go there because I've always been about hard work. National teaming, but that was the vision. Okay, presence, compete, grow from where you are amongst the internal players first. Then recognize you national team.
Tell us about some of your achievements as a football player.
Okay, I don't know if I'm going to remember all of them. I think Vicomates.
17 noto.
I think let me start Go Junior. Go Junior ring, I was always recognized as the football player. Again, like you had those awards, Cody prize giving. Senior school, the same thing. Vicomates, I think my achievement would be I was able, as young as I was, to influence the team. And then to me, that is an achievement because I can proudly say I have those capabilities, experience in forming a team from the beginning. Even though nearly the player, but we were able to influence for that development, to be able to influence in terms of players recruitment and all the like. And then a lot of awards came now. Prison. I know we won the league. Prison. This was 2015-2016, and then 2016-2017. I think we came second. Along the way, Prison started introducing. We got invited to inter-festive games, December. These games included teams from Botswana, South Africa, Lesotho, Swaziland. So we've played, I think, 4 years in a row. The first year, We got position 4, and I remember I was actually traveling. South Africa, tournament, and we were like, okay, we reached number 4, unfortunately. The next year we got position 3. The next year position 2, and then when we hosted the tournament, unfortunately I was on injury. The team now won. Okay, that's good. We're going somewhere. And then in addition to that, we continued to play Mother's Day tournaments. Koji West ko mabaleng Mexican girls. We've won last year, and then we've won the one prior before. I think it was 2022. Yeah. And then that gap, COVID, unfortunately, no winnings. So I would certify myself as a silver and gold medalist and also a league winner, Keleko Prisons.
Now tell us about some of the challenges you've had to face, as a young girl in Botswana pursuing a sport that you loved, discovered Go Junior School.
I think first challenge, parents. It's not easy for you to convince parents, Hori, this is what you want to do, and then they'll let you, because like you said earlier, it's not a common thing, or it wasn't a common thing at the time where a woman can play or a girl child can play football. So it was very difficult having to convince them, having to make sure you clean, you cook, you do all your chores. How your mom gaming, because you knew you did what she wanted. Folks,
and how come
in a society a lot of household chores ke tsa basadi. Done. But I hope the dynamics are changing now, because we started to share the chores being from both women and men.
Yeah, I hope the dynamics will change with your child.
Yes. You've been in
the sport fraternity, particularly football, for years. Did traditional medicine?
To be honest with you, because so a lot of traditional affiliates, for lack of a better word, because my mom never raised me in that environment. So when you're literally blind to the fact that you don't know. They have the same scent. Or what? And then as I grew into the sport, you get to listen, you get to hear the talks, and I'm being told, hey ma, but so I think I know it's something that it's there. I don't necessarily practice it or do it up front, because I've never been in that environment, and for lack of understanding, maybe who knows.
Now tell us about your academic qualifications, because mo Botswana there is this norm ya gore extracurricular activities di bana ko sekolo, but o tshamekile o ntse wa tshameka, but you've done really well for yourself.
I try, and I'm still trying, and I'll never stop learning. I think that has always been my motto. Besides academics or anything, you are able, as a person, you're able to wear many hats. You can wear hats of this. I think I learned that from white people. So begin from a very young age, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this and make sure that I excel. So I have a BSc honors degree in computing with Botu University. I have a certificate of accounting, AAT level 2. I think I wanted to advance it because I think I got married in it because I can pass it, but let me wait. That's not the way that I don't want to be an accountant. And then doing masters in business administration with University of Botswana. I'm done with my coursework. I'm doing the thesis, the dissertation. I'm finishing May this year. And then on top of that, I also have certificate in sports administration with Botswana National Olympics Committee. I think I attained that in 2021, November. I also have the FIFA Women Football Administration course that we did with Botswana Football Association in conjunction with FIFA. I attained that last year, November, if I'm not mistaken. And then I've also applied for advanced sports administration with the Botswana National Olympics Council. So I'm building myself or building my own succession plan from now being a player to being something else in the sports fraternity and in the corporate world.
And also training to take over the world famous Sunday Soccer.
Indeed. I think that is the most highlight of this year.
We're definitely looking forward to that. Now, what's your advice to upcoming players, especially young girls, Kokasi, by Longore? Education and sports seem like they're the only routes out of the township.
I think for me, is one thing that I've never really got into, and I wish I had, is entrepreneurship. You know, if you're not bookly schooled, or if you're not a bookworm, and if you have a talent on sports, try by all means to seek help to gain the minimum. Pass Form 5. Form 3, pass Form 5. When you have passed your Form 5 and then you are talented, folks, it's easy for people out there, Lerona included, to seek and help and find opportunities for you. Right now, we have players by Form 5 and can play abroad. We have connections to help those people. But how Form 5? It's going to be difficult because certain people have certain connections to say, come do school, and then also do what? Play football. If you come do school, I believe America is well vested with the courses in the right path that you want. Sometimes it might not necessarily be business, accounting, these commercial courses. You can literally go to do the poultry, do creative that you want, be a creative, but a learned and educated creative in exactly what you want. If you want to become a video director, do that. If you want to become Moari, go do that course. But the first thing, pass Form 5. The next thing I talked about entrepreneurship. I think we have a lot of internet facilities, or there's free internet across. Modikolo, modimolo. We spend our time wrongly using internet, wrongly for social media. Folks, and I can take my phone and put it there the whole day and not even bother. Social media. When you use internet, try to empower yourself and learn all the entrepreneurial skills that you might get. Try to find what you love, because nowadays the creative environment and the creative space can allow you to grow yourself, develop yourself, even without qualification. Right now, I don't have qualification to be a presenter, to be a radio personality, but I'm pursuing that out of the passion and the love and the little knowledge that I have, hoping to expand it. Or by the end of the year, you'll definitely be able to measure me, or folks. Folks at this age, you can literally see the difference. But out of what I learn and what I continue to empower myself as an individual, with the resources that I have. So young people, young players, aspiring players out there, do not give up on yourself. Seek help. Talk to the next person. Find guidance. Facebook. Find help, there's so many opportunities out there, but we're not looking in the right places. So bua le batsadi, ha go pala ko batsadi, find a teacher, find a guidance counselor at school, find Foxy, find me, re teng, and do and pursue what you love. Well, work hard. I think the issue, Foxy, work hard and be smart about it, and actually be deliberate. This is what I want, and go do it, because nothing can stop you.
Thank you so much. Right now. That's how inspired I am. And thank you so much for sharing your time. We love you. We appreciate you. We've seen you grow from being just a little girl to the woman that you are today. And I believe you are going to reach even greater heights. And I'm sure your story is going to inspire Botswana out there. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, folks.
This is the Football Experience. We are broadcasting live from the Grand Thornton Botswana head offices in Fairgrounds, Gaborone. My guest this week was Keletso Walebowa, aka Kells Pablo from Prisons 11 Ladies Football Club. Now, a special thank you to our partners Hope Worldwide Botswana and Grand Thornton Botswana for hosting us. Let's link up again next week for more interesting stories that Botswana have to share about football. Thank you.
My name is Nometa Keletso. I'm a program officer, Dreams Go Hope Worldwide Botswana. So today we are going to be talking about dreams. What is dreams? Dreams is an evidence-based program or movement for girls by girls. Dreams stands for determined, resilient, empowered, AIDS-free, mentored, and safe, which is dreams, right? So in dreams, we enroll adolescent girls and young women who are aged between 9 to 24. In Hope Worldwide Botswana, dreams is implemented in Kwening East and catchment areas. It is implemented in Gaborone. It is implemented in Southeast, which is in Tlokweng. It is implemented in South. It is implemented in Southern, which is Kanye and catchment areas. We have a screening tool where we screen our girls, whether they are in school, which is any child who's in secondary education, or out of school, which is any child who's probably not in school, or any child that is in tertiary school. That is what we say, in school. And then by that in school, we go to those schools, we give them assessment tools where we assess them, where there is a post-test, a pre-test, and then the dreams assessment tool. The pre-test and the post-test is to see how much they know, what do they know, and how we can add more sebasets and seeds. And then the dreams assessment is to see how vulnerable they are, because not every girl that is there is going to be put into dreams. So when we screen them, we have different criteria that we have. One is going to be the psychosocial one, which is this child living in a child-headed family, where the head of the family is someone who's 17 years and below? Is this child an orphan? Is this child a young mother? Are they 17 years and below and they have a child, or they've been pregnant, which makes them eligible for dreams under the psychosocial aspect? And then we also have the gender-based violence aspect. Has this child ever been abused sexually? And then we also have the HIV aspect. Is this child living in a household where there's someone who has HIV, or is this child HIV positive? That is the HIV aspect. And then we also have the social risk aspect. Social risk is this child engaging in any sexual behaviors that can put them at risk of being infected with HIV or other STI. And then we also have the substance abuse criteria. In this one, it differs according to age. If you are 9 to 14 and you've drank alcohol, automatically you become eligible for dreams, because you are not supposed to be drinking at that age. But if you are over the age limit of 18, which is the age limit that Botswana has for someone to take alcohol, but you black out, or you don't remember what happened the night before, or you sometimes never know if you drank or not, that is when you become eligible for the substance abuse aspect. So what do we do after we screen these girls? We put them in safe spaces, which is a sisterhood kind of group, in which also according to categories, they have a mentor. Remember, when we talked about dreams, we said it's a mentored and AIDS-free sisterhood. So we put them in safe spaces where they have a mentor who's going to mentor them for a maximum of 3 months, if not more, depending on how fast they do in that curriculum. So this mentor is going to be someone that they can look up to. It's going to be someone that they can say, I want to do this because you've done this, that. It has to be someone that has gone through some of the things that they go through. So the age difference is it's never that much, probably 5 years or 6 years, depending on the age category. So what do they do in their safe spaces? They do social asset building, which is where they talk about how do they build themselves, their characters, as so that they can be able to make decisions for themselves, so that they can be determined individuals. And then we also have the financial literacy part, in which they are taught about spending and saving wisely, how should they use their money, and anything related to financial literacy. And then we also have the HIV and violence topics, in which they talk about are they tested? Do they know what HIV is? Do they know how HIV is transmitted? Are they being violated? Do they know the different types of abuse that are there? How do they tackle such things? And then they discuss as a group. If there's anyone who needs any referrals from those discussions, then we can talk to our clinical partners that we work with, so that they can go get those services, which might include post-GBV care, which is PrEP, HIV testing, STI screening, GBV counseling, and others. We also have another aspect in these schools that is a part of Dreams, which is Life Skills Plus. Life Skills Plus is an evidence-based curriculum that more of feeds into the already there guidance and counseling curriculum. So what we do is, after we have screened those girls with life skills, we don't just look at girls, but it's given to all genders, both males and females, as long as they're between the ages of 9 to 24. So Leone, it's divided according to categories, according to age groups, because you cannot be talking bluntly to a child who's 9 to 14 about sexual behaviors. So you need to find a certain way to tell them so that they understand better. And then when someone who's in senior school, you have other ways to tell them about HIV and violence. So with life skills, we have facilitators who are in these different schools where we implement. They give life skills assessments. It's almost the same as the Dreams assessment. And then we make sure that whoever needs our help, we also refer them. And then we have other services that we give, or secondary services that we give after we have given these other services. So every dream girl that is in a safe space, whether they're in school, whether they're out of school, they are eligible for Pinagari. Pinagari is a parenting program. We talk to the parent and the child, we put them together, and we see how they can solve these issues. Because usually when kids are between the ages of 9 to 14, they're becoming adolescents, they're starting to see changes in their bodies, they're starting to feel what we call the wrath of puberty. Pinagari is for those that are 9 to 14, that are girls that are in safe spaces already. So they have 14 sessions, which is once every week, and then after that they graduate. We have other services like coaching boys into men, where boys who are into sports are then put together with the coaches, and then they're taught about gender-based violence, how they should take care of a lady, how do you talk to a lady. And we are trying to curb gender-based violence before it can happen at a young age. So with CBIM 2, which is coaching boys into men, the age is 9 to 14 too. So which basically means it's implemented in primary schools and junior schools mostly.